everybody, Desiree L. Benson here, and I want to congratulate my friend, my colleague. She is amazing, Mildred Batts, otherwise known affectionately as Millie. I love you. Congratulations on 6 years of your podcast, Bring It in the House. Cheers to you and many more. Woo!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's another great edition of Bring It in the House podcast show where we spotlight musicians, entertainers, artists, and leaders. Get your meal. And of course, we're celebrating our 6-year anniversary. It was official Wednesday, July 8th, 2026. And to celebrate with us is the beautiful award-winning actor, director, producer, teaching artist, the lovely Juliet Jeffers.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming aboard. We really appreciate you. We always kick off the show, Juliet, giving you a chance to shout out to your hometown, your alma mater, and, people in your hood that you grew up with.
Oh, wow. So I have a few shout outs to make then. So my family is from St. Kitts and Nevis in the Caribbean. I grew up in the Bronx, New York. And I went to Hofstra University on Long Island.
Awesome.
Yep.
Whoa. I did not know you were from the Caribbean.
Yes.
Yeah. So when did you guys get over to the States?
Well, I was born in New York. So my parents came when they were at different times because they met here in the States. They met in New York. I'm second generation American, I guess, Caribbean American. And so St. Kitts and Nevis. My mother is from St. Kitts. My father's from Nevis in the Caribbean.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Now, Juliet, you are an award-winning actor, director, producer, teaching artist. That's a lot on your plate. Congratulations on all your success. Kind of give us a little background on how it all started for you.
Oh, wow. Well, I went to the High School of Performing Arts, which is in Manhattan, and that's the school that the movie Fame was based on. So I knew at an early age, I want to live forever.
Yes.
So I knew at an early age that this is what I wanted to do. And I went to Hofstra University. I went to college basically so that I could have something to fall back on. So I didn't really study acting there. I studied communications. I studied languages. I really have a love for the Romance languages. So I studied French and Spanish, and I thought to myself, well, if the acting thing doesn't work, then I'll do something with languages. And right after college, I moved out to LA, and I realized pretty soon after arriving that I can't I thought to myself, oh, I'll give it 2 years and see what happens. And if it doesn't work, then I was like, no. I can't put a time limit on it. This is what I'm meant to do. I'm here for the long run. So that's how it all started.
Wow. And you've put in the work, baby. You have put in the work. So I was watching your reel from Vimeo that your publicist, Desiree, shared with me. And I'm like, wow, Juliet is amazing. So yes, it's like different snippets from different TV shows. So we're going to take a look at that now.
Okay.
The difference was he was happy. Brandon never told me who she was, but he was constantly asking me things like if I thought opposites attract or how I'd feel if he brought home someone who wasn't black. It's a woman who already knows to say, I got you. You're king before he enters those spaces.
Hey, girl, you are amazing. You amaze yourself.
No, you know what? It's I hate to bring this up, but it just feels like it's the elephant in the room. It's like, unfortunately, it's the subject matter, right? And unfortunately, we're at a time where it's not easy for our Black men, in this country, in this world, and so that's it's present right now for me, and it's with what's going on in recent news, and so that's why I sort of had a reaction, like oof.
Yeah. You're very, very convincing and very heartfelt. You could tell that you were into it because, yeah, it's so true. That's the times that we're living in now. Is very dangerous time for everyone.
Yeah.
Guess what? I was very moved. I was very moved. I said, "That Juliet, if
Mhm.
I could get lessons from her." And then I was reading your film scene credits include Found, Law and Order, Organized Crime, 911 Lone Star, and your current roles in Aftermath on Netflix and Noise in the Middle on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, so that's that so the Found, that was actually a scene from Found that you just saw. That was a
Oh,
show that was on NBC a couple of
mhm,
years ago.
mhm.
And and Noise in the Middle is still showing in Aftermath. But the most recent is I have right now a recurring role on The Residence that's streaming on Netflix, and also Tulsa King, which is streaming on Paramount Plus. So those two things are available to stream, to binge, still. And yeah, so I would love for you guys to check those shows out if you haven't already.
Oh my goodness, I'm definitely going to check it out. I don't hardly get to watch much TV here lately, but
Hmm.
Amazon Prime is a good one to jump into and find all kind of great movies. So I'm so glad to learn about Noise in the Middle on Amazon Prime. Hopefully this weekend that'll be one of my, if I have a few minutes where I could just jump into it.
Yes.
Yes, and I can watch it, man. That is so good. Now you also, I was reading that you have some recurring roles in the Shondalands, the
Right.
Residents
Yeah, so that's The Residence that I mentioned. That's on Netflix.
on Netflix, and
Yeah,
then Tulsa King.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So kind of tell us a little bit about it if you can share
Of
a little bit.
course. So The Residence is a White House murder mystery, and there are 8 episodes. So I was in all 8 episodes,
Mhm.
and it's just, it's fun. I know a lot of people like a murder mystery because they like to try and figure it out before it's actually solved. And
Mhm.
so you keep
Mhm.
thinking, oh, is it that person? Is it that person? So it's fun to sort of pick who you think it's going to be. Um, and I worked with a wonderful cast and crew, and it was just an amazing experience. And then with Tulsa King, of course, Sylvester Stallone is the star of that, and I play the mother of one of his driver, basically. So his character gets out of prison, and he's in the mob, and he ends up starting his own thing in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and so that's why it's called Tulsa King. And so yeah, so that's been a great experience as well. So I'm feeling really blessed that I was able to have those two opportunities.
Oh yeah, you're very blessed, and you have written five acclaimed solo plays, including Batman and Robin in the Boogie Down Bronx. I love that.
Yes.
That's so cool. And Drama Desk, and NAACP nominations, right?
Mhm, yes.
So congratulations. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I got to a point in my career where I just said, when things are slow, I like to keep proactive. Like to keep busy, and so I always loved creating characters, and I always thought one day I'll do a one-woman show. And so I created Batman and Robin with the help of my writing mentor, Reggie Rock Bythewood, and I performed that the first time in 2003, and the last time I performed it was actually in 2022. So it just shows you, like, over those years, how relevant the show still is. And it's about my brother and I growing up in the Bronx. And I portray about 20 different characters that we grew up with in the Bronx, between family and friends. And it's a tribute to him because he passed away at 33. And
Oh,
so yeah, so it's a tribute to him. And so that's the show that's the most autobiographical for me. And then after that, I created four more, and it's just sort of my way to express myself, to create, to stay, like I said, stay proactive.
mhm.
And then the one play that I wrote called Pan Girl
Mhm.
is about this steel pan player, a little girl who plays the steel pan drum, and all
Mhm.
the obstacles that she comes across in doing so. And that particular show I turned into a short film. So I shot that last year in Nevis,
Mhm.
and now it's making its way through the festival circuit.
That is so good. Yeah, I saw too where it said something about Nevis. I'd never heard of Nevis. It says that you're opening up the film industry, helping it
Well,
to
well,
grow.
they started during the pandemic. There was a company from the UK, a
Mhm.
production company that went to Nevis and shot several films there. And
Mhm.
once that happened, then the government said, let's do this more. Let's do our
Mhm.
own stuff and invite other companies to come and
Mhm.
shoot. And so at the time, I thought, well, yeah, I want to help out with that. And I went and I taught two different acting master classes because I thought, well, if film companies are going to be coming into Nevis, let me go there and teach them acting. And so I did that in the following years when I went back to shoot the film, because it's my mission to help empower the artists, because there's a lot of natural raw talent there, but because they haven't been doing this for years, like us here in the States, it's all
Mhm.
new to them. So it's a matter of training them and showing them the ropes, so to speak. And so when I shot there, there were 21 actors, and only two of us came from the States. Everybody else, they were local actors, and a lot of local crew that I used. So my plan is to write the full length version of it, because this was just a
Mhm.
short film. So write
Mhm.
that and then go back and shoot that. And there are other projects that I have in mind that I'd like to do there as well, because I'm really passionate about helping them grow their industry.
That is so great. And you helped create opportunities, career opportunities, job opportunities for them there. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. And I won a first time filmmaker at the Diversity in Cannes showcase,
Mhm. Mhm.
France. And also one of the local artists, he won best original song for the film. So it's really beautiful just to see, I mean, Nevis has never had a representative go to Cannes to screen a film, and
Yes.
so it was so nice to be able to do that for them and for everyone involved. And I
Yeah.
just want to keep it going.
Keep it going. What is the title of the song that the young man won the award for?
It's okay. Let me see if I can pronounce it right. Queso Ecstasy. Or
Queso X.
Ecstasy. I'll text it to you if you so you have it.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
um, but yeah, it's a song that he had done already, and I said, oh, this would be perfect for our film. Would you mind, letting us use it? And he said, absolutely. And I'm so happy that he did, because they loved it.
Loved it. And
Yeah.
then boom, his it helped take his career to another level.
Yes, yes, that is the intention. That is the intention. Create
Yes.
awareness.
So I was looking at all the titles that you have, that you hold. Teaching artist. I love that. So you coach and you're a director. Kind of give us a little, kind of break it down what teaching artist means.
Yeah, so teaching artists specifically, I did some teaching artist work in the prison system.
Mm.
So I worked in prison teaching acting, and that was an amazing opportunity, really profound experience for me. And then I coach actors, help them create their own one person shows, and I direct them in their one person shows as well. And so for me, because I did so many, once I started doing it, I said, oh man, this is such a great feeling to be, you feel so empowered to create something on your own, and
Mhm.
you sell tickets, and people come and they see you and they pay for it, and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this is amazing
Yeah.
that people care, right? And so I wanted other, and I still do, I want other artists to have that same feeling, that feeling of empowerment. Like, I did this on my own,
Mhm.
and I have something to share, you know, sharing your story, sharing what's on your mind, and creating art, you know, and healing others and inspiring others and entertaining. So I love that whole world, and so it just felt natural to help others to do the same.
Yes, that is so beautiful. It is, that is really a great feeling to know that. Well, I'm a believer in the Holy Spirit, but to know that He used you at that time,
Yes.
just the two of you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It wasn't something that I just, you know, I sat around and I thought, oh, I'm going to do this. It was really just, it just came to me, came through me, you
Mhm.
know, and, you know, I've written down that my life mission is to heal myself and others through my creative endeavors. And so that's a part of it too, because inevitably when you create a one person show, it's you know, the process of writing in and of itself is healing, and then to share it with others, and if you can inspire at least one person in the audience, you know, you've done your job,
You've done your
right?
job.
That's our job as artists. And
Hmm.
so I'm so happy to be able to assist others in doing that.
Yes, congratulations to you. You
Thank you.
served on the board of LA Women's Theater Festival,
Yes.
and you were the curator for the Black Voices Solo Theater Festival at
Yeah.
the White Fire Theater, right?
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
that's just, you know, an extension of what my mission is. You know, the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival, they create a space for women to perform solo shows. And so on the board, I helped, you know, I was on the panel, the screening panel for different artists submitting their shows. So I saw tons and tons and tons of shows, right? And
Mhm.
and also just, you know, helping in any way that I could. And then with Black Voices, that happened during the 2020, and Brian Rasmussen, who runs the Wi-Fi Theater in Los Angeles, he came to me and said, I have this idea that I'd like to do, and would you like to do this with me? Would you like to be the curator? And I said, absolutely. And I gathered anyone that I had ever met in LA, and I said, you know, who said, oh, they had some interest in creating a one-person show. And I said, listen, come on board, let's do this. I'll direct you if you need me to. I'll help you with the script. And so I did that for 2 years in a row, and that was an amazing experience to be able to provide that opportunity for Black artists.
Yes, I know. I can imagine. I can imagine. Oh, oh, that's so exciting. I mean, when you started this career, all those, a while back, you're still
Yes,
very young. You're still
yes,
very young.
yes,
Um,
yes.
did you have any idea, that, any inkling that you might go in this
No,
direction?
I said, you know, I made this statement that I came out to LA to become an actor, but soon realized that I was an artist,
Yeah,
right? Because there's a difference.
difference. Yeah.
And so being an artist, you know,
Mhm.
I think, you know, a lot of people come out here, they want the fame, the fortune, all that.
Mhm.
But for me, it was, and yes, it would be lovely to have the fame and fortune and the fortune. Yes. Very much. But what I, you know, I live and breathe art and creating. And so that to me is what keeps me going. Right.
Mhm.
And so I realized that it was more than just acting.
Mhm.
It's being an artist. An artist's job is to heal the world, is to express, is to make a difference, you
Yes.
know. So that's that. I'm very passionate about what I do, and I can't see myself doing anything else. It's like I'm here for the long run.
For the long run. And I'm so glad to see you go for what you really want to do, because some of us will cop out. We'll have a day job, because we're not quite convinced that we could do this. So we'll have a day job and then we'll try to do these other things on the side.
Yeah, but you know, let's not get it twisted. It's hard. You know what I mean? Like there's been a lot of ups and downs in my life, and a lot of times where, you know, yeah, I think the normal person would have been like, that's it, I'm done, you know, but I'm not normal. I'm a little crazy, You know, you got to be a little cray cray
You have to be.
to be in this industry, and to, you know, and so there's sacrifices, and I think that at the end of the day, it's just, we're all different, right? And so some people need that job security, some people need that, you know, financial security, but sometimes it's, you know, you're fighting for something that you believe in, which is your passion, your artistry, and it's, you know that it's going to be up and down, and it's like, okay, this is what I signed up for.
This is what you
Right?
signed up for.
Yeah.
Yep. You got to keep going no matter what, even when it looks uncertain. You just keep.
Keep going. And, you know, of course, you have your little side hustles. You do this, you do
Mhm.
that, you know, you make ends meet and make it work. But at the end of the day, I'll speak for myself. I'm happy.
You feel,
You know?
yes, and that's what matters. That's what matters. I noticed in your demo, in your reel, like we just discussed a little earlier, how convincing and authentic, very, your artistry has that integrity about it. I love that. And so I feel like that artistic integrity goes into, well, it should go into every role of every actor. How do you balance your artistic integrity with those commercial considerations? How do you do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. Because there have definitely been roles that I said, that doesn't really jive with me, you know, and I didn't feel comfortable auditioning for it, right? So that has definitely happened. It hasn't happened much, you know, because most of the things that do come my way, and of course these are things that my agents and my managers are kind of screening before they send it to me anyway, and so they know what my values are, and so that's been, it hasn't really been a challenging road to sort of navigate, because it's pretty, for me, it's just pretty straightforward. um, when when I'm creating my own work, you know, I get to choose, right? I get to choose what I want to write, what I want to say, and so that part is easy. And but in the industry, it's just one project at a time. You know, the audition comes in, you look at it, and you decide, is this how I want to represent myself and my people?
Yeah.
You know, so you make that decision based on that.
And that's good because, back in the day, I don't think a lot of actors had the choice.
Choice.
Yeah.
Exactly. We have a choice now.
And that's something
Mhm.
so many of our ancestors fought for us so that today we now have that choice.
Absolutely. And I'm so grateful.
Yes, I
I
am.
think about Cicely Tyson. You
Yes.
know, she, when you talk about integrity, she was like the queen of integrity.
Integrity.
And
Yes.
so I really respected her choices, you
Yes.
know.
Yes. So you've done so much, Juliet, career wise. Do you feel like you've done it all, or do you still you feel like you have a little bit more to accomplish?
Oh my goodness. When you said earlier that I'm still young, right? I have so much more to go. I mean, it's like I have to really, you know, I put into ChatGPT all my, well, not everything, but some of the things that I have on my list of projects that I want to do. And
Mhm.
and ChatGPT was like, okay, here's the order, because you're trying to do too much. You know, like, you're trying to do too much, girl. So I have to really, you know, force myself to say, okay, focus on this and finish it, and then go to this, and then go, because I have so many ideas and so many things I want to start, and, you know, so no, I am no way near done.
Nowhere near finished. And that's great. That's good to hear.
Yes.
More to come. More
More
to come.
to
Yay. From this conversation we're having right now, what is the most important message that you hope viewers gain from it?
I I hope that viewers, you know, and the thing is, whether you are an artist or not, I think this
Mhm.
message is still relevant,
Yes.
to live your truth, you know, express yourself, stand up for what's right, um, that's kind of like how I live, and as an artist, that I express my truth, always coming from a truthful place, because if you don't, I mean, people see through that. If you're not
Mhm.
authentic, they
Mhm.
see through that,
Okay.
right? And
Mhm.
so it's about, um how do you want to change the world? How do you want, what impact do you want to leave on this earth? you know
Yes.
and so I think it's about, just thinking about that when you are, especially as an artist, when
Mhm.
you are choosing roles, when you are creating things, what is the impact that you want to leave? How do you want to inspire and motivate others to do the same, or to make changes in their lives, or just stand up for themselves, or you know just take care of themselves.
Yes. Yes. It's good stuff. So you're always working. You're always so busy. How do you have time for Juliet? How do you manage all of that?
Well, Juliet is the self-care queen. Okay.
Okay.
So, so I love, I love to go to the spa. I love nature. I love the beach. I love, soaking in water, um, meditating, yoga. All those things bring me peace and joy. And I, and it's almost like a non-negotiable that I have to leave room for that for myself.
Yes. Yes. That's
Mhm.
good that you know how to balance that, and not
Right.
just all work and, you know, no play. Just so, always on the hustle grind thing.
Right. I
Good.
try. I
Yeah.
try.
That's
Sometimes I have
good.
to check myself, right? Sometimes I have to check myself before I wreck myself. Like, okay, take a break. You know, dial it back. Mhm.
Yeah. Dial it back. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Any shout outs before we wrap up?
Well, I'd like to shout out Desiree. Desiree,
Yeah.
for connecting us. Thank you so much, Desiree. This was such a great interview, and you're so wonderful,
Yeah.
and so I'm so glad that we had this opportunity to chat,
Thank you.
and this has been great.
Thank you so much. We really enjoyed every minute. I learned so much from you. Just this little time we've been together, on the professional scale. Yeah. So this
Mm,
is great, and I'm sure the audience is gonna, kind of, let a lot of this information resonate, and
mm.
can use a lot of it. I love it. Any last words of encouragement before we leave?
Ooh, keep going. Keep going. If there's something that you're passionate about and you feel it inside, because everything says, this is what I'm meant to be. And you also feel it from spirit, from God,
You too. Yes.
right? That this is your calling. And so once you know that, just keep going. Just keep going. Don't give up.
Don't give up. That's you heard it from Miss Juliet Jeffers. Yes, award winning. And don't forget to check her out on Amazon Prime, Netflix. Am I missing anything? I'm
Paramount
sure.
Plus.
Yes, yes. You can also subscribe to your YouTube channel, correct?
Yes, Juliet Jeffers. Everything across the board on social media is Juliet Jeffers. So, excuse me, Instagram, and then also my Pangirl Instagram is PAN and then GYUL, Pangirl Film, and that's on Instagram as well. So I would love for you guys to check me out.
And Girl Film. And girl is spelled GUR.
GYGYUL. So girl, you pronounce it like girl, girl.
Okay, okay. All
Girl.
right. Oh, got you, got you. Well, I can't thank you enough for spending time with me here on, our 6-year podcast anniversary.
And congratulations.
Yes, yes, we're going to hear a little bit from one of our supporting fans, Miss Debbie Ireland.
Hi, this is Debbie Ireland. I just want to say happy birthday to Millie Mills and happy 6-year podcast anniversary. This is for the Radio Records Awards, Debbie Ireland. Happy birthday, Millie Mills. We love you.
We love you too, Debbie. Yeah, she's with Radio and Records. They have a big award every year in Atlanta, Georgia, coming August 2nd. You don't want to miss it. A lot of big names, celebrities, recording artists will be there getting awards. So congratulations to you, Debbie, for always, You're doing such a great job. And a shout out again to Desiree. Thank you for this wonderful interview. And I can't thank you enough for stopping by. And we'll see you next time right here on Bring It in the House.